Words of Sri Aurobindo from the book Letters on Yoga, from the collective works of Sri Aurobindo, volume 28, page 18, chapter 1, Sachidananda. New stanza. Sri Aurobindo says, this is the crucial point in the question, what is consciousness? Whether it is a temporary phenomenon of nature or a reality in itself fundamental to existence. The first is the conclusion that is drawn and must be drawn from normal experience on the surface. The other is at best a metaphysical speculation or an instinctive feeling in humanity, unless we go beyond the normal experience, deepen and widen the range of our present consciousness and test its inner depths and inferior abysses and supernormal heights, until we can touch its fundamental or its ultimate or its total reality as is done in yoga. Sri Aurobindo says to judge from only normal and superficial experience, as the ordinary mind does with phenomenon, is to miss the truth of things. We have to go behind the surface phenomenon to find the reality of what a thing is. There are no gradations of consciousness if the ordinary phenomenon of consciousness is taken, unless perhaps we distinguish two gradations, the animal and the human. The difference is created by the variations of subjective personality amount only to degrees of power of the same human animal consciousness, a better or worse, cruder or more complex organization of the instruments by which it receives or reacts to the contacts of the nature. Sri Aurobindo says, if on the contrary, consciousness is an inherent power of existence, present even when it is not apparent to us or active on the surface, then we can conceive of it arranging its own manifestation in gradations which rise or fall between what seems to us now the subconscient depths and superconscient summits of existence. Sri Aurobindo continues to say, the ordinary view of consciousness is based on normal superficial experience plus science. For physical science, consciousness is a temporary phenomenon in an unconscious world, something evolved in an animate organization that somehow develops in an originally inanimate and unconscious matter. It is not inherent in life, for the plant has it not. It is rather a growing flicker that, once established, lasts intermittently through sleep and waking, while life lasts and disappears with the dissolution of life. The ordinary mind, says Sri Aurobindo, the ordinary mind identifies consciousness with human waking consciousness, possibly shared by the animal, though that is not certain, for many refuse consciousness to the animal. A man is conscious while he lives. When he is dead, consciousness disappears. When he is asleep, stunned, drugged, anesthetized, in trance, then his consciousness is suspended. He is temporarily unconscious. How far is this scientific superficial view correct or maintainable? For it raises two fundamental questions. Is the waking surface consciousness the only form of consciousness possible? And again, is the consciousness synonymous with mind? Is all consciousness mental, or are other forms of it supramental or mental or submental possible? Next subtopic, outer consciousness and inner consciousness. Sri Aurobindo says, consciousness is inherent in being, though it is here involved and concealed in things, so that it has to emerge out of an apparent unconsciousness and organize itself in individual life. But this is only on the surface, which is all of which we are aware because we live on the surface of ourselves. This surface, the ordinary waking mind of man, is what we think to be ourselves, the whole of us, because living awake on the surface we are conscious of only that. But within, with a sort of wall of obscurity or oblivion between it and the outer being, there is an inner being, an inner mind, inner vital, physical, and an inmost psychic being of which we are not aware. Sri Aurobindo says, we are only aware of what comes up from there to the surface and do not know its source or how it comes. By yoga, the wall is slowly broken down and we become aware of this inmost being. By doing so, we build a new yogic consciousness which is able to communicate direct with the universal consciousness around and the higher spiritual above. Sri Aurobindo says, as the individual has a consciousness of his own, so too there is universal consciousness, a cosmic being, a universal mind, a universal life, a universal physical conscious nature. We are unaware of it because we are shut up in our outer physical selves. By the inner awakening and the opening above, we become aware of this cosmic consciousness, cosmic nature and cosmic self and its movements. Sri Aurobindo says our consciousness can widen and become one with it. The forces of universal nature are always working on us without our knowing how they act or being able to get any general control over their action on us. By becoming conscious of the universal, we are able to detect this working and control it. Sri Aurobindo continues to say, it all depends upon where the consciousness places itself and centralizes itself. If the consciousness places or associates itself within the ego, you are identified with the ego. If in the mind, it is identified with the mind and its activities and so on. Sri Aurobindo says, if the consciousness puts its stress outside, it is said to live in external being and becomes oblivious of its inner mind and vital and inmost psychic. If it goes inside, puts its centralizing stress there, then it knows itself as an inner being or still deeper as the psychic being. If it ascends out of the body to the planes where self is naturally conscious of its wideness and freedom, it knows itself as the self and not the mind, life or body. Sri Aurobindo says it is this stress of consciousness that makes all the difference. That is why one has to concentrate the consciousness in the heart or in mind in order to go within or go above. It is the disposition of the consciousness that determines everything, makes one predominantly mental, vital, physical or psychic, bound or free, separate in the Purusha or involved in the Prakriti. These are the words of our Lord Sri Aurobindo.